Hello students, today we'll study about Le Chatelier's principle. It is also known as equilibrium law. So before studying Le Chatelier's principle, we should know about what is mean by equilibrium. So let's study this with a reaction that is A plus B, reversible arrow C plus D. For Le Chatelier's principle, for equilibrium to attain, reversible reactions are required. Means reaction should be reversible. It must be reversible. Okay. So let's see what is an equilibrium. So A plus B gives C plus D. So here the rate of reactant is equal to rate of product. Means they are equal. That is here also 2 moles of reactant are present and 2 moles of products are present. Means the equal. They both are equal. So it is known as equilibrium reaction, or it is a constant. Means right now the reaction is constant one. Okay, so now if we increase any of the reactant, that is we increase the concentration of A, that is suppose if I increase the concentration of A, what will happen? Now the equilibrium is been disturbed है ना, यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? Equilibrium is disturbed now. So now for attaining equilibrium, the reactant will try to do something, that is it will give something to the product, that is the now there will be increase in the concentration of product too. Now again it will attain equilibrium. So in this way this law works. So if you add anything into it, means you are changing its concentration. So how we can change, or how we can disturb the equilibrium? That is by changing concentration, pressure and temperature. So by changing these three, we can change the reactions equilibrium. That is, we can disturb the equilibrium. Now, what is the use of disturbing equilibrium? By disturbing equilibrium, there will be increase in production, increase or decrease in production. So to attain increase in production, that is means if the reaction is in equilibrium, there will be no production of more product. Okay, but if you increase the production, if you have to increase the production, you have to do some changes, that is you have to disturb the equilibrium. For disturbing it, we have concentration, pressure and temperature. Okay, so that is the main motto of Le Chatelier's principle, that is it is used to predict the effect on a system in chemical equilibrium, which effect? By the effect of changing concentration, changing pressure and changing temperature. So Le Chatelier's principle states that when you change concentration, pressure and temperature, the equilibrium is changed, right? What will happen? Equilibrium will be changed. Now the reaction will change itself, that is the equilibrium will shift in that direction where the effect caused by these changes are nullified. Means if you are adding A, if you are increasing the concentration of A, it will changes the concentration of C. Means reaction is going or shifting forward to attain equilibrium. So by changing concentration, pressure and temperature, equilibrium is changed. After when equilibrium is changed, it will attain again equilibrium again. How it will attain? By shifting. Okay, how it will attain? By shifting the concentration or pressure or temperature. Okay, in this way the equilibrium will be attained. Okay, so the main principle you got now. So the main motto is to increase the production. Okay, That is the main motto of Le Chatelier's principle. But if we change concentration, pressure, and temperature, how it affects equilibrium, that we have to study in detail. Okay, so let's study about that, how they work. So firstly, let's see the effect of concentration. Effect of concentration means how concentration is affecting your equilibrium and how the equilibrium will attain. So okay, so see it with one example. That is, take one let's take one reaction, nitrogen with hydrogen, reversible arrow. See, that is most important in this reaction. Reversible arrow, NH3 ammonia is produced. Okay, now this reaction is in equilibrium, बराबर, क्योंकि the product and the reactant both are equal, so this reaction attained equilibrium. But now we have to change the concentration. Suppose I increase the concentration of nitrogen. Now what will happen? Equilibrium is disturbed. Okay, now equilibrium is disturbed. What will it do? If the nitrogen concentration is changing in the reactant, it will shift its concentration to the ammonia. That is, it will increase the concentration of ammonia too. So now it will be the that is the change in concentration. The equilibrium will be shifted to the forward side, forward direction. Equilibrium shifted to forward direction. Okay, forward direction means that is the nitrogen, increase in nitrogen will shift to the ammonia. Okay, so equilibrium is shifting to the forward direction. If I decrease the concentration of hydrogen, if I decrease the concentration of hydrogen, now here the concentration of hydrogen will be, suppose I decrease it, so it will be less here, but in ammonia it will be more. So what will do? Ammonia will try to give its concentration to hydrogen, its hydrogen to the reactant. So now the reaction will be backward. So in this case, the equilibrium is shifted to backward, shifted in backward direction. So this is the effect of concentration. Okay, means in this way the equilibrium shifts from one direction to another direction. So forward means it is reactant and backward means it is product. If you are increasing something in reactant, it will change the product's concentration. That is how it will change. So it will change the equilibrium and equilibrium will shift to forward direction. If you are changing in decreasing the reactant concentration, then equilibrium will be in backward direction. So that is the effect of concentration. So let's study now the effect of pressure. So now how pressure will change the direction and equilibrium. Okay, so if I take an example, N2O4, reversible arrow is must, and there is both are in a gaseous form, because effect of pressure will be on gaseous compounds only. Okay, so now let me know how pressure affects the reaction, your reaction. So you must know about pressure. If the pressure is increased, if you increase the pressure, that is, suppose if I take one two beakers attached to each other and the gas is present in the beaker, and in the next beaker the less gas is present. If you apply piston here, now what will happen? As you apply pressure here, the gas will transfer to the another side where the pressure, where the amount of gas is less. Means we can say that the equilibrium shifting to the direction which has less number of gas. So in this reaction, we can say that the equilibrium will shift to the direction where there is a less, less number of, where less number of moles, because here less number of moles we calculate, or we calculate the gas as a mole. We can tell it as a mole. Okay, 1 mole of gas, 2 mole of gas. So here we can see it is a 1 1 mole of N2O4 and 2 mole of NO2. Now here, if I increase the pressure, if I increase the pressure in this reaction, what will happen? Where do the equilibrium will shift? So we know that equilibrium shifts to the direction where the less number of moles are present. So in this reaction, in reactant, only 1 mole of N2O4 is present. So, and in product, 2 moles are there. So less mole is in reactant. So equilibrium will shift where it will shift backward here. Okay, so you may have got it about how pressure affects the equilibrium. Okay, now our third point is effect of temperature. Now let me know, if you increase the temperature of anything, where would it go? If you are increasing the temperature, it will go to the that side where the temperature is less or where the temperature will be absorbed. So let's see by observing one reaction, that is A plus B plus delta. It is the temperature, it denotes the temperature, plus C and D. Okay, so for the rule for the effect of temperature is that if you increase the temperature, equilibrium will shift to that direction which proceed with the absorption of heat. Means where the equilibrium will shift, equilibrium shift where the absorption of heat is there. So now in this reaction, if you increase the temperature, where will it go? It will go where the absorption of heat. So you must know that when the heat is present in the reactant, it is the absorption, or absorption of heat is known as endothermic reaction. And if heat is present in the product, it is known as exothermic, that is heat is evolving. So in this case, if you are increasing the temperature, now the reaction will be forward. So reaction will be forward. That is where it will go. The equilibrium shifts to forward, shifts in forward direction. So that is the main thing of this temperature. That is, in temperature, if you increase the temperature of any reaction, where the temperature will go, where it can be absorbed. That is the endothermic reaction. Okay, and exothermic reaction means where, suppose I take an example, hydrogen iodine, reversible hydrogen iodide plus 3000 calories. Okay, now in this reaction, if I have told you, if the temperature is in product, it is an exothermic reaction. So where will be the equilibrium shifted? So equilibrium will be shifted in the forward direction only. Okay, so in this way, the equilibrium changes. Okay, so main motto of the Le Chatelier's principle is to change the equilibrium by changing temperature, pressure and concentration. Okay, so by changing concentration, that is if you change the concentration of reactant, that is if you increase the concentration of reactant, so what will happen? The equilibrium shift to the forward. And if you decrease the concentration of reactant, equilibrium shift to backward. And in case of pressure, we have studied one rule, that equilibrium shifts to that direction which has less number of mole. And in case of temperature, we have seen where equilibrium shifts where there is absorption of heat. So that is the main use of Le Chatelier's principle. So thank you so much.